So why is it landscape photography is always synonymous with wide-angle lenses? So I decided to give it a shot, but I didn't want to invest a lot of money on a fancy, expensive wide-angle lens like a Nikon 14 to 24 or something like that, which would run me probably $1,500 or so. So I went ahead and I started looking for a budget wide-angle prime lens, and I came across this one here, which is the Rokinon 14mm prime 2.8. It's an f-mount lens, and this particular Rokinon is completely manual focus. And the build quality, though, is very good. This has got a metal casing on the outside of the lens body, your typical lens cap here, which is plastic, all of them usually are, and it's got a bulb lens right there. So there's nothing really special about this lens other than it was fairly cheap. I think I paid $319 for it on Amazon back in 2017. It's still online, but slightly more now. Although the lens is completely manual, which is one of the reasons it's a budget lens, you can set your aperture to f/22, and what will happen is the camera then will do all the aperture settings. So if your camera is at f4, it's going to use f4, and it passes through to the lens. And so that is a nice feature. So it's not entirely fully manual, but definitely it's not automatic. And there is no autofocus on this lens at all, so you're going to have to rely on your ability to see clearly and in focus through your camera. I recommend looking through the LCD, put it in live view, and zoom in, and while you focus you can get a little bit better of a pinpoint that way. It's a pretty basic lens. It does have some weight to it. I would say this thing weighs probably close to a pound, but outside of that it's small and it's compact, and it's a 2.8 lens, and let's go take it for a drive. Alright, so let me show you a few of the pictures I've taken with that Rokinon 14mm. We'll go ahead and just look at this one here. So this here is a picture of dry pond taken in the spring of 2017 when I first got the lens. It was actually one of the very first pictures I took with this lens, and this is straight out of the camera, and it came out really well. I have to admit that I really was not expecting the quality that I got from this $400 lens. Let's check out one more. I was up in Rachel, Nevada, down by Las Vegas, and went on a photo trip with a group of other photographers, and we did some Milky Way shooting, and this one came out pretty darn good. I did have to touch this up a little bit just to pull out some of the color of the picture, but other than that, I mean, I'm pretty pleased. The only thing that I'm disappointed in was something that I couldn't control, which was the weather. And you can see there's smudges in the image, and those smudges are actually clouds. It was very overcast that day. In fact, when we first got there, it was pouring rain. This photo here was also taken at the same location in Rachel, Nevada. It was taken around 10 p.m. and it was still a little bit overcast, but they set up this really old truck right outside the little Alien Inn, and they had fog running and stuff. So it was kind of a neat experience. But again, this picture came up pretty decent. I would say out of the three, this probably is the worst one. But all in all, I'm pretty impressed with that lens. Definitely worth the money. It's probably going to stick on my shelf for a little bit longer, and definitely will pull it out and play with it a little bit more when I have some opportunity. So that first picture I showed you from dry pond, I did have it printed, and then I framed it, and it came out pretty good. All the details are really nice. The color is very well balanced, and so I'm pretty pleased with that lens. So if you're looking for a prime wide-angle lens just to go play with, shoot some landscapes, get the feel of it and how they look, I totally recommend checking this one out. It's currently running, I think I saw it on Amazon for about $3.99. I'll go ahead and post the link below, and happy shooting.